Um, so anyway, we're gonna start off, guys, where you guys are in what's known as Avalon City, and it's the usual typical scenario where um, the city is has found itself in the throes of never-do-wells, hooligans, criminals of all different types, and power sets, and the way fate has it, with these criminals, heroes were needed to help even the odds and to protect the innocents and the common folk from basically getting taken over, and that's what you guys are here for. Let's see. Let me go. Let me put let me put Heath on the spot first. Let me get the big dogs out the way first. So,
So,
okay. So with your guy, is he does he do anything day to day? Is he, does he have some kind of secret identity of some sort? What are you kind of thinking just off the top of your head?
well, he's had a pretty troublesome past, pretty
Mm-hmm.
traumatic event happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's left him scarred, like both physically and mentally,
Mm-hmm.
and he's pretty much just found himself
Still there?
living streets, just dealing with himself.
Okay.
He's a very depressed individual, but
Oh wow.
he he he's kind of found a reason, to keep living.
So is he
Uh,
kind of like a loner? Is that how you picture him, kind of by necessity?
he doesn't like to get too close to people for fear that the event that happened may happen again. I mean, he's not opposed to assisting, but he fears that that it might repeat itself.
So okay, no, that's good. So so there was some kind of are we can we just say there was some kind of mysterious accident of some sort that kind of got him to the point where he's at? Is that what you're kind of saying?
I mean, if you'd like, I can just tell you what happened.
Well, okay. See, that's the thing with the way, unless there's a reason that you want to keep something like a secret to yourself, which is fine. That's fine. But basically, what I'm trying to just do is just get a feeling for why your guy would be out there risking his life and limb in order to stop the bad guys.
He's trying to make penance for what he did.
Okay, cool. Okay,
Uh, that would be
okay.
the best way to put it.
That's cool. Okay, there you go then. Okay. All right. Does so okay, so basically he has no alter ego. He's
No,
just there. Okay, gotcha. Okay.
no. I mean, he's gotten a name in the papers, from
Okay.
the media, of course.
Okay.
And I guess a distinguishable feature you might notice as well is like a good portion of his face is just
Mhm.
scarred and burned.
Okay.
If
Cool.
it goes down to his neck and whatnot, I mean,
Okay.
who
All
knows
right.
how much further.
Okay. All right, that's cool. Okay, let me go on over to Daryl and let me see if he can kind of fill in maybe a little bit that any ideas or whatever about his guy. And Daryl, the only thing like I gave you was that of course he was a scientist and he was developing this prototype exosuit.
Yeah.
So what you
Um,
got?
yeah. Basically, being a scientist, of course, he's always trying to, quote unquote, better mankind, and
Mm,
of course, doing that, the government, of course, as a government always wants to,
mm,
they are wanting to weaponize the suit, and he told them flat out no. And in the contract that he had written up with the U.S. government, he put a little loophole in it. If
mm,
he and basically it stated if he ever felt that his intellectual property, aka his suit, was he felt that was in danger, he still owned all rights to it,
okay,
and the government didn't like that. So basically, there was a quote unquote accident at the lab.
got it.
Luckily, he was testing the suit out, which
Hmm.
shielded him from the explosion.
Okay.
So after that went down, he went ahead and activated that loophole and took his suit and left the government facility. So
Okay.
he fully owns the suit, and the government secretly still covets the suit and wants it back.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, the government is going to do their best to keep it on the hush hush. So
Okay.
you know how the government does their thing. So, so
Um,
yeah.
is he laying low anywhere, or does he have like another workshop or something that he was able to get to, or what's his
Yes,
what do you see his situation at currently then?
he has another workshop that's actually under an old fire station
Okay.
that is still being used, but
Oh
it's
wow.
so
Okay.
old. But so nobody really goes down below to do anything. I mean, it's just regular
Hmm.
sewers, so nobody really goes down there that much. So
Okay.
his little workshop is down there, and
Hmm.
he does have a secret identity. He is out in the public. He does part-time rescue and stuff because that's kind of his thing that he was doing while he was growing up before he turned to be a scientist.
Okay.
So he volunteers as like a firefighter, or
Okay.
like an extra police presence during like parades. Nothing out of the way.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So
Okay.
that's what
Okay.
he's about.
Okay. All right. Cool. Okay. All right, Jim. You got anything you can some fluff you can throw in the mix? A little narrative? You muted. Oh, there you go. No.
No. All right.
Nope.
Sorry about
Okay.
that.
It's all right.
Okay. So this guy, he's going to be like a college student, just starting college, first in his family to be able to make it to college. He's an inner city youth,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll say he grew up in like Harlem or something like that. So things are kind
The
of grim,
drops.
kind of.
The
Yeah.
drops.
Okay. The drops. So he grew up in the drops where things aren't always that good. You have a lot of criminal elements, etc. Well, one night there was a huge freaking thunderstorm, lightning, everything else, raining, cats and dogs,
Mm-hmm.
etc. And what he didn't know was that this was uh, the Titans escaping from
Ooh. Okay.
Tartarus.
Okay.
Okay, so they began to wage a war on Olympus, and basically they kicked the Olympian gods' asses out of Olympus. Okay, so
That's heavy.
or a god, something like that. So
Mm-hmm.
they fell. One of them fell to into Harlem, and or I'm sorry, into the drops,
Yeah.
where my young character found that person and thought it was just a homeless type, person that was in need of help,
Mm-hmm.
and he helped nurse him back to health and get him back into the game. He didn't know that that was. I don't know if I want to make it Zeus or Apollo or somebody.
Yeah. I mean,
I
it's
don't know if
fine.
I'm.
It,
All right, so
yeah. It's
so
cool.
once he did that, the God saw that the kid had a good heart
Mm-hmm.
and that he could be instrumental in the war that they have against putting their predecessors back into the pit from whence
Oh,
they came.
okay. All right.
So he gave him these items, and
Mm-hmm.
there he goes.
So,
And
since.
not everyone takes as kindly
Mm-hmm.
to him having the items
Mm-hmm.
as some of the guys are like, oh no, hell no,
Right.
he shouldn't have this. Let me
Right.
send minions against him, or let me do my machinations behind the scenes to
Okay.
kind of do stuff. So
So are all these guys on Earth now, or since they got big?
well, they're kind of scattered around, yeah.
Are they? Okay. Okay.
Not all of them are fell hard. Some of them were able to get resources and stuff like that, and they may be in charge of a corporation or a business, or I mean
Okay. No, that's
in a
cool. Okay.
semi-mortal guise. So
Right. Right.
but as gods are wont to do, the
Okay.
evil gods get together and they can kind of hang out together, and they
Okay.
plot. That's what
Okay.
evil gods do.
Okay. No,
So
that's cool. Okay. That's more than enough. Okay. Um. So. Um. Okay. Well, we just gonna jump in. Uh. Basically. And you guys, maybe you guys can tell me. How you end up getting this information maybe, but through one way or another, through one means or another, um, you guys have overheard that Fox Prime News has gotten an anonymous tip from somebody. Okay, and the tip is that these terrorists have demanded that unless $250 million in unregistered security stocks is transferred over to some kind of Russian account, that they're going to detonate enough explosives to topple this building known as Nakatomi Plaza Tower and kill everybody inside. And then you all guys have also heard that the terrorists want everything supposedly kept on the down low, because if anybody tells the cops or if the media actually lets it out, publicly, that they'll blow the tower anyway. And you guys know that that Nakatomi themselves, the corporation, that they have until 12 noon to comply. So we'll just say it's about maybe 8:30 in the morning, roughly. Okay. You guys have a means where Hero Corps can contact you. Okay. And that you guys have been called in. We'll just do it like that. You guys have been basically debriefed with the information that I just told you. Okay. So give me 1 second. Let me reload his character sheet, and then I'll be right back. And you guys can just imagine that you guys are sitting or standing in this conference room of sorts, real high tech, like, if you guys can imagine Shield, a lot of high tech stuff, cameras everywhere, a lot of computers, and you see just a lot of nondescript individuals, some suited, like maybe federal agents. Others actually are walking around wearing, like reinforced, like tactical gear and stuff, and they're all just doing stuff. Nobody's really paying too much attention to you guys. They're used to seeing paranormals, or metahumans before. This isn't the first time they've seen your kind, and you guys are kind of off to the side. So whether or not you guys know each other already is cool. It's up to how you guys want to play it.
Well,
what are we waiting for?
Oh, go ahead.
What are we waiting for? Every moment that we spend here is a moment closer to the tower getting blown to bits.
Yes, Wonder Man, but we got to have a plan first before we just go charging out there. We got to wait for a time to plan. So we need to sit down right now and go ahead and iron this out before we just charge out there and make a mistake and cost even more lives.
What kind of mistakes can we make? What kind of mistake could we possibly make by saving the tower from explosives? You think too much. That's your problem. And I'll wave my sword around in the air. I'll say, this is all that we need. Who's with me? No one is with me.
Arbiter folds his arms and he just kind of shakes his head for a moment, like, that's why accidents and terrible things happen.
It's uploaded, Jim. It should be good now.
I say, you can't arbit all the time. Sometimes you have to make a decision and then you go.
How old is this guy, Jim?
He's a freshman in college, so he'd be 18, 19.
Is this helmet kind of hiding his face, or can they see how old you are, or what do you think?
I got the little picture up in my thing here, so yeah. I mean, he has the exuberance of youth, so I mean, it's clear that he's not talking with a deep, very adult voice. He's an athletic, well-muscled, everything guy, but he's still a kid.
So Arbiter, you basically see this younger guy bragging and boasting and kind of being impatient and everything, waving his gleaming sword around, and you can like hear it like kind of like hum, but little do you know that it's probably actually cutting the air molecules as he waves it background is so sharp, but it just sounds like it's some kind of like, sounds like it's humming, like how the phosphorescent light bulbs, they kind of have a low hum to them. That's kind of what you hear. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Um. Uh.
Say,
And
what
what?
about you, Tempest? I know you're with me. You're not one for analysis paralysis. I'll say, let's get this ball going.
So Tibbus is an older man, and he's leaning back on the wall. He's got his hood pulled low, covering up his scars, and he shifts slightly under the words of Wonder Man and lifts his gaze just enough to lock eyes with him. And he speaks, shaking his head. He says, "The principal act of courage, my friend, is to endure and withstand dangers doggedly rather than to attack them. Running in there head first do nothing but cost yourself your life and perhaps the life of others. We must formulate a plan, figure out where they are attacking from. This bomb that they allegedly have, how do they plan to get it there? That's where we need to strike."
Say, I have the powers of the gods, man. The powers of the gods.
Remember, the gods were slaves once.
Okay. You guys.
I'll pace around,
Okay.
nervously.
Okay. All right. You guys hear a door kind of softly open with a click, kind of to your left, and you see a hero core. Basically, I guess he would be like the I don't know what's a good title for someone like an upper echelon person.
Director.
Director. There you go. Thank you. Okay. So this is Director Sanchez. Okay. So he comes walking in, and he kind of makes a point to make eye contact with each of you. Okay. As he kind of walks over to the table in this conference room, and he kind of just sits down on it, and he places a tablet that he had in his tucked under his arm on the table, and touches it quickly, and you see it lights up, and it looks like that there is some type of I don't want to. It's like a shaky cam, except that it looks like for or however reason this cam is actually zooming in into one of the windows on the side of the building, and you can actually see that for a brief second you see the as the camera shifts, you see a sign briefly where it says Nakatomi Plaza. So you know that this camera is actually there, on the tower itself, And Director Sanchez, he points at the tablet and kind of looks at each of you guys in turn, and he says, "I've got some men right now, and they're looking at assessing the situation, which is a dangerous thing in itself." He turns to Wonder Man and he says, "Kid, I know you're in a hurry to get things going, but we've got to see what the situation is first. We can't just have you running in there and causing deaths and destruction."
I'll say whatever you say. You are the law after all, right?
Okay. All right. He nods at you, and then he looks over at Arbiter, and he says, Arbiter, he says, you've got lots of experience, from what I understand, dealing with different types of structures and things of that nature. He says, what do you think? What type of armaments do you think it would take for them to bring down that tower?
Well, the explosives that they would have to be very powerful, or smaller charges at the designated weak points. So either they got a really big bomb that could cause a lot of damage from the middle or bottom of the building, or smaller charges around the structural. I would make a safe bet and say that it's probably going to be smaller charges at the structural, even though they said a bomb, that could be a ploy
Mm,
but we need to designate that exactly if it is a ploy or not.
okay. All right. He kind of, he rubs his chin and kind of nods, and he looks over at Tempest Form, who's leaning up against the wall with his hood over his face, coughing.
Yeah.
And he says, Tempest, you want to join this conversation? You're just gonna sit over there and look moody.
He just kind of scoffs. Well, if I were to weigh in, I would say that the greatest structure is only as strong as its foundation. That's where I would strike.
Director Sanchez kind of looks at you a little bit, you can kind of see the wheels moving in his head. And probably not to make himself look like an idiot. He goes, "Yeah, okay, I got you. I see where you're coming from, pal." And he turns back to the pad, and he says, "Well, I've got a special infiltration team scouring this tower right now to try to see what we're up against. They've cut off all communication, no phones in or out. They've even cut, from what I understand, all internet access. And somehow they're even blocking cell phone coverage in that building. I don't know how they're doing that because, as Arbiter, as you know, those kind of structures have cell phone, we'll call them echo chambers, scattered out throughout them in order to keep the signal strong. So I don't know how they're doing that. They've got somebody in that building that has a lot of tech know-how."
Yeah, yeah, that's definitely obvious. They might have white noise generators or some kind of small electromagnetic blocking technology. So yeah, definitely of that team, however many they are, it has to be one high tech son of a bitch, and that's not good.
He says, "Now I know that we haven't had a chance to work with you guys a lot. Hero Core has gotten a bad rep as of late, and we've been broken down and built back up." He says, "But we're trying to build a good rapport with the other metahumans that are in this city so that we can get them to fight the good fight." He says, "We try not to ask a lot of you." He says, "But just let it be known that we appreciate all of you guys' effort here. But I gotta ask one thing." He says, "Arbiter, do you have any idea who may be behind such a plan or a plot? Any idea?"
Well, there's so many people that have and groups that have ulterior motives. So unless we have time to do some digging around, which we don't, there's no way to pinpoint exactly right now who we're up against, unfortunately.
Um, he says, "I can get you guys there uh, to the perimeter of the building. And like I said, I've got agents that are scouring the perimeter as we speak, but I'm not having them go in there. I'm worried that they might actually, you know, tip in the bad guys to what's going on. So I'm just gonna have those guys kind of fall back and remain in a supportive situation until you give us the word that they can move in." He points back at the screen of the pad, and he kind of reaches over and taps it, and it kind of zooms in, and now you guys can see that the camera is actually it's a helmet mounted camera is what it is, and there's a guy that's actually using like suction cups, and he's on the side of the building, and he's kind of looking inside through the glass trying to get a shot, and all of a sudden, like through the camera, you see the glass of the window. It's kind of reflective, but you can, because of the way the sunlight's hitting it, you can just kind of barely see in there, and you guys can see like a crowd of people that are kind of sitting down, engine style on the floor, and you can see that weaving in between them is this person. Let me see. Hang on. I'm gonna screen share something with you guys. Where's this guy at? Where's he at? Hang on. Got a lot of Got a lot of artwork here. There he is. Okay. Screen share. Okay. Screen share. That. There. Okay, you guys see that?
Yep.
Okay, all right. So you see that this guy is weaving in between the hostages, basically, you know, and he's talking to them, but we can't hear what he's saying through the glass, you know. But you see that he is heavily, you know, he's got some stuff on him, you know, and he looks like, well, he looks like he's all business. You can tell that that's some kind of like highly modified, kind of like tactical, like weave that he's wearing armor, you know. And to your eyes, especially you, Arbiter, probably, he looks like a merc. You know, he definitely has the look of a mercenary about him. You know, but definitely well funded. You know, whether or not he's meta or not, you know, you can't tell. You know, but there's something going on with him. Okay. All right. So once again, you see the camera kind of refocus and kind of zoom in on the hostages themselves, and you see that there's women in there. They're, you know, crying. You see their mascaras all running and everything, and you see that there's the executives in there, you know, and their fancy suits are all rumpled up. You know, some of them look like they've been roughed up a bit. You know, you see one guy with some blood down the side of his mouth. You know, looks like he probably got punched. You know, they're not doing good. They don't look like they're in very good shape at all. You know, at least stressed out. You know, and you can just like see the guy just walking back and forth, and he's like, you know, just like looks like he's just like intimidating them. You gonna say something?
Yeah. This guy climbed up the building. What floor is that? Surely he knows this.
The director, actually, you can tell. The director says that he's at least on the 50th floor, at least. He says that that building itself is about 80 stories.
Let's see.
Why do you ask, Tempest? What are you thinking? I see that mind of yours working. That trap's going. What are you thinking?
Well, why not just go straight to the source?
That's the problem. We don't know what the source is. We don't know if this guy's working alone or not. There could be people scattered all throughout that building, right?
There could be. We could try to go up floor by floor, or we could get some type of transportation, drop in and pay this guy a visit.
He kind of looks at you with a slack jaw, you know, and he says, "Well, that's why I got you here. You're the supers. You're supposed to be helping me out. What do you think?"
I think you procure us a helicopter and we go skydiving.
He says, "Done," and he says, "I'll get on it right now." And he actually he goes out the door, you know. And as you guys are still looking at the you know, the monitor, the pad, you see that the glass, you know, that the camera is focused on, you see it vibrates like violently, you know, like somebody, like it's a drum almost, you know, boom. And you see that the people inside, they kind of jump and they look out towards the window. They're not looking directly into the camera, but they're still looking at the window, and you see it vibrates again. And then all of a sudden the camera just goes jerky, you know, like that. It moves around, and then you see that it turns violently around, and you guys see that it focuses in on why am I so slow? Sorry. I'm like, you guys like, yeah, what?
It focuses on.
That's
Right.
building that suspense, man.
I know, man. I'm killing you. Sorry. I got a lot of.
It would be great if you had fantasy growing up.
I know I might be. Yeah. I might be.
Oh, shots fired
on that guy.
Oh man!
Who is hanging on the side of the building? and you see he's got the guy. Well, I'm doing some narrative exposition here,
Yeah.
but he's basically got this guy by the throat, and he brings him in close to his face, and you can see him snarl. There's no sound, but you can hear him snarl, and just like gorilla spit is just flying all on the camera and everything. And then you see he pushes the guy away from him, and then brings him in just like super fast, and you imagine that you see a big flash, and then the camera goes dark. That's it. Dead.
Mm.
Static.
Now, judging by what we've seen on the camera, we've seen his noggin all up close. But how big would that be, you think, compared to an average person to extrapolate?
Freaking gorilla, man.
It's like he's like the size of like a regular gorilla is what we're saying. He's not
regular. It's a regular gorilla. 450, 550.
Do you see what your waiting has caused? Do you see what your waiting has caused? Let's go. Isn't that impetus enough to go?
A guy, you guys see one of the teched up, the armored, guys runs in, and he's got looks like a flight helmet on and everything. And he says, the director's got the carrier ready for you guys. This way, this way. He answers his question. The thing had the guy's head basically. He was palming the guy's head, so he's big guy.
He's pretty big.
Yeah,
All right.
big guy. Yeah. Okay. So as you guys move outside, I'm assuming to basically a helipad, you guys see that there's some kind of like do they call them like ospreys? I guess it's like the vertical takeoff and landing vehicle. You see it's one of those, and you see it's all fired up. The propellers are whipping around and everything, and they shuttle you guys on board. Okay, and it takes off. Okay. The next thing you guys know, you guys have the Nakatomi Tower in sight. Okay, and the co-pilot turns around and yells towards you guys over all the cabin noise and everything, and he says, "What do you guys want us to do? Where are we dropping you off at?"
Open the doors.
He looks, kind of like, huh? And then he shrugs. He says, "Okay." All right. So he walks over to the door, and the cabin lights go from green to red, and then he opens the door, and the wind just like howls into the door. You can just like feel it, violent wind, and the way the vehicle is coming in at an angle, you guys can kind of see the tower, So I would say you guys are about maybe a total of like maybe, I don't know, let's say like maybe not even a quarter of a mile, away from the tower, and he's holding the door. He says, "Okay, you're clear."
I'll jump out.
Okay, all right.
And activate my winged boots.
Okay. Okay. Okay, all right, okay. So what's the game plan? Where are you guys going, or what are you guys going to do?
Yeah, I would also like crouch and leap out, and you would see like air begin to swirl around my waist, right down to my feet, almost like a small tornado, and propelling me forward. My game plan is I'm just going to beeline straight for the 50th floor window. Maybe like manifest like a rock covering over my head and just blast in there. Like last action hero on this bitch.
Okay, I step to the door and I just kind of like just fall out, and then like fall for maybe like 10 seconds or so. Activate my jets on my boots, and I'm heading toward the roof of the building.
All right, so you guys are splitting up. Okay, all right, okay. And then what's Wonder Man doing?
Well, I don't see anyone to immediately engage right now, do I? Ape guy is gone, or nowhere to be found.
Nowhere to be seen right now.
Is there any evidence that he busted his way through the side of the window or side of the wall?
Since you're kind of looking, you do notice because actually I guess Tempest is headed that way,
Mhm.
um, at an extremely fast accelerated rate. But you do see what, unless you're imagining thing, what appears to be a large reddish smear on the side of the building.
That's not cool. All right. I'll tell Arbiter over there, and I'll point to the smear before he rockets off.
Okay, well,
And just so you guys know, just we can just say that you guys have some type of communication, devices to your whatever you want, so you guys can communicate with each other. All right.
Because in the metagaming world, splitting up is not good.
Well, hey, we'll see what happens. Okay. So, what were you saying, Daryl?
um, I'm like, well, you want some action? There you go. Have fun. And I split off from him. Now, where Tempest went, I'm going to go to the opposite side. Like, say that Tempest went on the maybe the western side of the building. I'm going to the eastern side on the 50th floor, and I'm just going to assume how he was talking early. He's just going to just bust through there. So I'm going to play off his lead, and as he busts through one side, I'm going to bust to the other side. Hopefully, we can catch these people off guard.
So Dave, Tempest is actually going towards where the smear
Yes.
mark is.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Arbiter is going around to the other side of the building at that
Yep.
floor.
You can obviously see Arbiter change his trajectory. Yep. And he looks like he's going around, but he is at that 50th floor level still, roughly.
All right, I'll follow in behind Tempest.
Okay. All right. So, Heath, what does it look like when Tempest hits this 50th floor supposedly shatter-resistant glass? And the glass is like maybe about 10 feet, high, and it's just, the whole floor, it's a fancy chromed up, multi-$100 million building, so it's all chromy and shiny. So what does it look like?
So, as he's zipping through the air, just going faster and faster, you can see like the tornado from like the waist down just moving more violent, and he begins to almost like use his elemental powers and manifest like a rock skin over himself, and bring the top to like a point to focus all this force on this glass, and just throws himself like a human battering ram into it. Hopefully shattering it, sending this glass showering into the room.
Okay.
Presumably, if that guy's there, maybe taking him by surprise.
Okay. All right. So changing your body into like kind of like shapes and stuff like that for best effect. That isn't on your sheet. So what it's called a push. You're just using your powers in kind of a different way.
Okay.
So what you're going to do is you're going to roll 2d6, and since you're trying to shatter the window, we're going to say that's a plus your smash.
Okay.
And then tell me what you got.
It'd be an 8 total.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So here's the thing. You guys see Tempest, go head forward, like one of the what do you call those guys? The guys that jump out of airplanes, how they kind of move their bodies in order to get more velocity and stuff, and you can kind of see his cranium kind of like start to like just warp and like mutate and change into like a point, of stone basically. And he just hits the window, and it just, you remember how like the windows shattered in the first Matrix? It bubbled at first, and then it just broke apart. Well, It just shatters everywhere, and jagged shards of glass go like they explode everywhere. Let's see. Okay, Heath. Here's the thing. That was probably like, I would say that's probably it was probably a difficult thing for you to do, because I would say you probably have to concentrate in order to get your head just right and this, that, and the other. So what you can do is bash through there, okay? But you end up getting a ugly slice on your arm, okay? From one of the pieces of glass, okay? And then also all you guys just see glass fall down to the street below. And you don't know if there were innocents down there or not. But you know that glass just went down there, okay? Then on top of it,
Oh crap!
there's
Jesus Christ.
the people that were inside. You see people, you see, arms go up and everything, and just glass fragments just explode everywhere, and arbiters inside. Okay, so Heath, who do you want to go next?
Well, first,
No, who do you want to go
that
next? That's all.
I would just like to say that
It's some bullshit, man.
that's bullshit.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Come on.
I'll have Wonder
What?
Man is all about wanting to get some stuff done, so we'll have Wonder Man go next.
Okay.
All right, so okay. So since
So
I
I'm
see,
sorry, Jim. Hang on one second. So Heath, basically, I'm writing it down, but you would have a moderate condition right now. Okay. So
Yeah.
So all of your rolls are going to be -1. So we'll just say you have a. We'll say
How would I fix that? How would I go about getting rid of that bullshit?
getting some first aid. That's all. Yeah, getting it bandaged up. So we'll just say you have a. We'll say deep cut. Okay. We'll just call it that. Okay. All right. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jim.
all right, so I see the destruction that my teammate has caused, and I'm sure there's some bystanders below on the ground waiting for the guillotine to decapitate them of falling glass. So I will divert my direction. I was going to follow him in, but instead I will.
And you know what?
I would hope that they did.
Hold on, wait a minute. Because actually I did something wrong. Heath, you can actually I have to give you a choice, because of how you roll. You still take the minor condition just because that's how it works because of your roll.
That's fine.
But do you the choice is that you can either have the glass, the majority of the glass either shatter inside towards the building, or you can have it go down below. That's called a hard choice.
Well, it doesn't seem that hard to me. My line of thinking is
Mhm.
if these guys are half damn smart, they set up a perimeter.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll have the glass fall down.
Okay. All right. Okay. So go ahead, Jim. Okay, that's cool.
All right. So, is there anything that I'd be able to do as far as maybe shield bashing some of the glass, chopping it with my sword, try to break it up so that there are no bigger pieces? Because even if a perimeter has been set up, I mean, those guys are just going to get killed for no reason from the falling glass. So
Yeah, you can do that. You want to use your action to kind of divert some of the larger shards of glass or break them up, actually?
yeah, I'm going to try to do. I guess it'll be what, a protect action, something like that.
Well, yeah. Well, see, yeah. Yes, but you're just supposed to narrate it. Yeah, you could do that.
I did narrate it.
You could. I know. You can.
I narrated,
You
and
did.
then I said,
You did. You just learning the game faster than I figured. So you can. Basically, the only way you could really do that is you could. You could either attempt to fly up under the shards and kind of deflect them with your shield. You could do that. That would work. If you want
that's
to,
it. That's it.
if
That's
you
what
want to, that's fine.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, that's what I had in mind. So,
Okay. All right.
all right.
So make your roll plus your protect approach.
7.
Okay. All right. So let's see. All right, so you guys see that well, you guys well we see we see Wonder Man, you know, you make it up under the zip down underneath and basically, you know, raise your shiny shield up and actually start basically battering the larger shards of glass and actually metal as well. Um,
Okay.
away, yeah, it wasn't no joke. When Tempest hit that, he basically exploded in the side of the building. Basically, he went off. Um, and let's see. So basically, what you could choose to do is yeah, that's fine. Write this down, Jim. You have well, actually, I'll do it. You basically generated what they call one hole, okay, because of that. All right, and you can do
And
stuff with that.
and can I use the whole? I could burn it up now, right?
Yeah, you could burn it up now if you want to by basically Heath and Daryl. What some moves do, he did a serve and basically he did what's known as a serve and protect move. And what that does is that based upon his role, you can sometimes generate certain things. Okay,
Mhm.
so based upon his role, he generated what is known as hold, HOLD.
Mhm.
Okay, and basically what he's doing is when you do a serve and protect move, it is what it says it is. You basically defend somebody or something. Okay, so he was basically what his idea was to defend the people below from the glass and stuff. Okay,
Mhm.
so with that one hold that he generated, he could redirect some of that glass to himself. Okay, so instead of the people down below, he could take the damage basically.
Mhm.
Um, he could reduce he could reduce the severity of the glass. You know, we could say that since he goes under it with his shield, it's breaking up. You know, so he still would take a little bit of damage, but it wouldn't be nearly as much. Um, and what else? What else? What else? That's it. Yeah, that's it. Oh, actually, no. You could do one other thing, Jim. You could spend one more hold, and actually use that to kind of give one of your allies an advantage. So you could do that as well.
But that's only if I roll enough high enough to generate two this round. I only
Right.
generated one.
Right. You generated one. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to redirect that at me
Okay.
with the understanding that I have my golden fleece about me. So hopefully it won't be able to
Okay.
penetrate.
There you go. Okay. That's okay. There you go then. All right. So you see that any normal mundane would have been probably split in half by the jagged metal and glass that you know is flying all around you, but somehow you know being chosen of the gods, you're able
I have the power of the gods.
to avoid that. Um, okay, so now who goes next? I guess it's Daryl. Okay, Daryl.
Uh, all right. Flying toward the other side of the building.
Hmm.
I'm going to take a more tactical approach.
Okay.
I hate to do this so early in the game,
No, you
but
don't.
what I want to do is, since I'm, protecting the city,
Yep.
I'm going to burn my bond with that one with Hero Corp
Uh-huh.
to basically bust into the window and not have it shatter.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, well here no, well, no, don't burn anything yet. Well, yeah, you can. Okay, that's fine. So basically what you're still doing is you're still you're still gonna be shattering the window, but
Right.
you're actually doing um you're actually doing a serve and protect too because you're actually trying not to hurt any of the people inside with the glass, right? Is that your intent?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, okay. So that's
Yeah.
actually a serve and protect.
Basically,
Hmm.
like what I was trying to do as I'm approaching the window,
How do you do that? Yeah.
I'm on my gauntlets have sonic emitters
Hmm.
to kind of like gently weaken the glass so when I bust through it, it doesn't have that exploding force inside. So
Okay.
it's kind of like spider web before
Yep.
I actually hit it.
Yep.
So when I actually hit it, it doesn't explode inward.
Okay. So we'll say that that's going to be a difficult, action.
Okay.
It's not the easiest, but it is still something that seems to be fairly within, what you would be able to do. So now, and then what we would do is we would keep track of this. So now we hear that we understand that Arbiter has sonic emitters, and then actually we also know now that Tempest has the ability to change parts of his body, to do what he wants to do with them. We also have that. So I've made note of that as well. So you guys can see that as you guys play the game, your characters kind of evolve a little bit, and you kind of fine tune them with your powers and stuff, which is cool. Okay. So since we figured that that's going to be, you're still doing a serve and protect, you still go ahead and roll your 2d6. And since you said that you're trying to spider web it, it's going to be I think it would probably be more of a, let's use protect. Let's use your protect.
All right. Total will be 11, 12, 13. Total.
Okay, all right. Okay. So let's see then. So because of that then, you actually do something similar to what Jim did. You generate 3 hold. Okay? So
Okay.
what that means is that you can either let me see. You can redirect the attack to yourself. Okay? You can say that since I'm trying to make sure that the glass doesn't hurt the people inside, that it's gonna spiderweb and just kind of like fall towards me, and kind of crumble down instead of going in towards them. And you can actually reduce the effectiveness of that as well, so it may not do anything to you at all.
Okay, I'll reduce.
Okay.
And
because you can do multiple things. I'm basically telling you probably what makes the most sense for you to do in order to just keep it,
right.
keep it moving. Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing.
Yeah. Yeah, since I'm armored, I'll just assume that the glass wouldn't even hurt me.
There you go. Okay. So the emitters just basically like you said, they spider web the huge glass panel, and you can just kind of see the chunks just fall, and they just kind of like slide off Arbiter's shoulders and waist and fall to the floor as you step through. Okay. All right. So now the people inside are losing their minds. They are going crazy. They think that the building is the terrorists are exploding the building. They hear all of this stuff going on. They're looking from one side to the other. You hear women screaming and everything. Actually, on the side that Arbiter came in, because he came in with such force, you guys see that actually some of the water sprinklers have turned on. And you see water actually spraying everywhere, and people are kind of like sliding, and they're trying to get up, and they're having problems. They're trying to help each other get up. Other people you see are like pushing people away so that they can get up, because it gets real in situations like that. But you guys do not see that figure I showed you earlier. Okay, so Daryl, since you went last. Well, actually, I went last, really. Okay, so I get to determine who goes first. So I made my action, and now I will I'll let Heath go. So go ahead, Tempest can go.
So when I bust a flex in there, the guy's not there.
You don't see him. After the exploding glass and all the people jump up and the water sprinklers came on, you don't see him. He may still be in there, but you don't see him.
But I do see like a bunch of civilians, right?
Yes, for sure. Yeah, there's got to be at least 30 people in here.
Oh, well, I need to get them out.
I would like to try. Toss them out the window?
I mean, that'd be the quickest route.
Mm-hmm.
No, something maybe something like that. Could I try to like use my powers and manifest beneath it, like I did with myself, like the tornado that gave me flight,
Mm-hmm.
and like really concentrate and try to make like a big like a floating cushion, cloud or something, condensing that they could rest on. I could send them down to the ground.
Oh wow! So you want to you basically want to levitate them from the 50th floor all the way down to the bottom, and you want to. How many people are you trying to take at a time when you do this? All of them?
Uh, I mean, yeah, I'll spend my bonds, man. If I to just this needs to happen. Like
All
I need to
right.
get out.
That's something that we'll say that Tempest has never tried to do before, and it's 30 people, and you're on the 50th floor. So it's gonna be it's
Epic.
gonna be it's gonna be a crazy move. So let's see here.
It's not
Uh,
even possible. It's epic.
right. That's right. Right.
How many bonds do I gotta
No,
blow
no.
to
Well,
reduce this?
it's not how many bonds you have to do. It's just because the bonds don't they guarantee you a success, but the catch is that within that success, stuff can still go wrong though. But you do it. The real problem is that this is something that you've never tried before, and it's going to be pretty damn hard. That's the thing. So let me see
What
here.
if I just made little like vacuum of air, like a tunnel they could just ride down, like
Same thing. I mean, it's the same thing. You're doing something that I give you kudos for the creativity, but yeah, still that don't make it any easier, is what I'm saying.
oh shit. I mean,
That's
they gotta not be here, so I don't see what other choice I
yeah,
have.
that's cool. Yeah, man, you're doing the heroic thing and you're using your brain. That I'm not I'm giving you
But
props for that.
you know what? This is only one of the floors.
Right.
There's got to be. I mean, if you said there's what 80 some floors,
Yeah,
something like
there's
that.
floors up and beneath you. Yeah. Yeah.
So
However, I mean, we don't know if there are more people in those floors or not. This is the only video feed that we got.
Right.
Um, so my line of thinking is I just need to get him out, so I can like when I find this dude, I can go nuts.
was Sanchez getting the people out? Were they you know having a drill, an exit drill, evacuating the building or anything?
You mean did Hero Core have a plan to evacuate? Well, remember
Yes.
he said that he was gonna wait for you guys' call to determine whether or not it was safe for him to send his guys in to get the people out.
Okay.
Yeah, that is vague, but that's pretty much what he said. Whether that means get him out now because the building's gonna blow anyway, or what that means, we got the threat neutralized, so it's good. It's that's up to how you guys interpret it. But as
Well,
soon as you
shit.
give the green light,
I'll ask him then. I guess. I mean, I'll describe the man. Ask him if they. Do you see where he went? He was here moments ago, according to the video feed.
okay, all right. So Tempest, you look out the window and say, okay, I got one or two ways to do this, and then you kind of turn and you grab a suit, and pull them towards you and start hollering at them and asking them all of this information. So hold on, just hold the phone right there. Let me cut to. We'll just keep going in the same order that we were going before, guys, just to
Okay.
make it easy. So we'll go to Wonder Man next.
All right. I'll once I've taken care of the glass,
Yep.
I'll redirect myself back up to where Tempest burst into the building on the
Hmm.
50th floor, I guess.
Yep.
Do I see any civilians outside on the ground floor,
Just
or
by
is it
looking
a
down, you mean? Just
yeah, yeah.
it actually does look like that when all that you don't see where it looks like any casualties out there. You see that there is still traffic on the street, but you do see now you do definitely hear sirens and stuff, and like as you kind of look out down the street, you see emergency lights coming this way.
But do the guys have they set up a
No,
perimeter around?
no,
No.
no,
So
because
there's no.
this was still supposed to be on the down low.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll turn around and fly back up and join Tempest
Okay. All right. Daryl,
Yes.
what's Arbiter? He's inside too now. So what do you what's your plan?
Okay. As Arbiter lands into the building and the sprinklers are going off and everything, he sees Tempest and he sees what he assumes he's um, going to start helping the hostages and whatnot, organize how to get out. I'm going to activate my spectrum vision and
Okay.
remembering what that dude looked like. I'm going to try to differentiate like body types.
Ooh, okay. All right. So let's see. That sounds pretty complex there. So we're going to say that we're going to say that that's going to be kind of, boy, I'll say that's difficult because since your suit was designed for rescue
Yeah.
missions and stuff, we'll say that that could be something that, you designed for. So we'll say that's more difficult because you have to concentrate, let the other uh sensors, calibrate and
Yeah.
do what they got to do. Okay. All right. So then what you want to do is you want to make a roll plus your investigate.
Okay. All right. So that is a +1. So here we go. One. That's 10. 11 total.
11. Okay. All right. Okay. So you now how would you tell the difference between this guy and everybody else?
Well, you were saying that that guy was heavily armored and decked
Mm-hmm.
out and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to assume that like him being a mercenary, how he looked, he'd probably be bigger,
Okay.
like a body build type,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that.
Okay.
Trying to separate that from a normal size guy.
Got you. Okay. All right. Hold the phone right there. All right, Heath.
See, I mean, I've
Huh?
I've got this guy, and I'm like,
Yeah,
where
yeah, yeah.
did he go?
His
How many
eyes
people
his
are
eyes are wide, and he's sputtering because of all the sprinkler water and everything. And he's like, don't kill me. Please don't kill me. Don't kill me, man. Don't kill me.
so you need to relax. If I wanted you dead, you wouldn't be talking right now. You need to tell me where the guy went. How many people are still in the building? Is this everybody? Do you know if there's people on other floors?
He he says he says there was a big meeting of all the upper execs that we had on this floor. So where did I write this guy's name down? He says that he says there's some other ones, but I think they're upstairs. Other than that, there may be some people around here, but I don't know, man. I don't know where all the cleaning people are and everything.
Oh, you don't know where the cleaning crew's at.
He
That's
said, I mean, there's people, there's help scattered everywhere. He said, but the main group of execs was here and upstairs. That's
well,
what he told me.
if there doesn't seem to be like any guys around here, I'm gonna tell them like you guys have a fire drill that you practice. I imagine you guys can get out of the building with
Mhm.
due haste. You need
He,
to
he
exit now.
he tells you that he says that he tells you that Mr. Takagi, he says that he and the upper executives uh were up on the 47th floor. Okay, and
Okay.
he says other than that, there really shouldn't be anybody else. He says there really shouldn't be anybody else important in here. That's what he says.
It shouldn't be. Well, I'm gonna tell him
Mhm.
and everybody else. I'm gonna speak up.
Mhm.
Bellowing, tell them that they
Mhm.
need to get out now. There'll be some people down there waiting when they arrive.
Okay. Okay.
And with that, I might radio Hero Corps and see if they can send in like a team or something to
Send
just
more cops.
get well no like kind of on the down low to like get them to safety or something.
Okay. All right, so
Uh,
you see Director Sanchez. He's on the he's on the let's say you got like a wrist communicator, and
sure.
you get the little 3D, picture of his head that pops up, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Is it clear? Can I send the men
No.
in?" We heard it was an explosion. What's going on? What are you guys doing down there?
Minor setback.
What does that mean?
I'll explain when I have the time. Right now, I need you to organize some type of group, small group, to get the civilians that are going to be exiting the building to safety.
Okay, Heath, make a influence roll.
Okay. I have. Let me double check. All right, I do not have any of that. Fantastic. So 9.
Okay, all right, okay. So he you see his you see the 3D head, kind of looking around as if he could kind of look around and see what's going on in there. And he's like if there are any casualties down there because of you Tempest screwing around, it's going to be your head. And bloop, and the communicator turns off.
I assume the other two are there right now. Wonder Man said he came in, and
Our Arbiter is on the other side, okay?
oh, he's on the other side. Well,
Yeah,
Wonder Man came in behind me though, right?
you
Yeah,
can see
I hear you getting your ass chewed out.
you can see Arbiter's like sensor kind of sweep, it's like a laser almost, and it's scanning. You can tell he's scanning the room, as it goes back and forth. That's what he's
Well,
doing.
like as they're filing out, probably to go down the stairs. Can he, would it be easy for him, like a lineup kind of thing, maybe to provide an asset for his scan?
Well, don't get it mixed up with Fate because it's not the same thing. So it's not even that complicated. If you think it would be easier for it to help him scan, then you can just you guys can just do that. It's not a big not a big deal.
I mean, I think it would be, if they're leaving in, an orderly manner, down the steps. It's
Okay.
probably easier than sweeping the room.
Okay. Let me bounce back to Arbiter now. Okay.
Sure.
So Daryl, as Arbiter is scanning the room, you see that you pick up a high concentration of what can I call it? A high concentration of CO2.
Okay.
Is that right? Right?
Sure.
I
Is that
don't know.
Carbon
Is it?
dioxide?
No, not
That's
CO2. What's the explosive? C4? C4.
Yeah,
C4.
I'm sorry, C4. I'm sorry. It's a big difference. C4.
Got a high concentration of breath.
Yeah, right.
Like it stank. I smell breath.
Right. No, you detect a high concentration of C4, basically.
Okay. Basically, I say over the communicator, not out loud.
Mm-hmm.
Wherever the position of the, like, say, the third person from the end or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I tell Tempest.
Mm-hmm.
And then, also saying it to Wonder Man. Hey, third person from the end, concentration of C4.
And then all of a sudden you kind of like hesitate for a second, and like maybe even hit the side of your helmet, to see if your sensors are maybe kind of going glitching or something, and you see that there seems to be bloop, 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 multiple signatures on different people.
Oh shit. Never mind. They got kind of scattering, EMP scattering device to make the signal jump everywhere.
No, that's not it.
Maybe it's just on multiple people. I'm thinking, are you relaying this information?
Yeah.
Now,
Who are you?
now Arbiter said that the first thing that he said was that it was like the third guy from the whatever, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to go grab that guy.
It's the crazy guy that was talking to Tempest. He's
Okay,
like,
so
"Yo, man, what are you doing? Hey!"
I'm going to grab him and kind of lift him up
It's like, Gucci suit. What are you doing?
and kind of pat him down and see if there's any. He doesn't have. Does he have a briefcase or anything like that?
No, you actually pat him down, and you find that there is a weird looking like something is like attached to the side of his jacket.
Okay, I'll attach to the. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll pull my sword out
Mm-hmm.
and I'll cut his jacket off,
Ah, what? And he kind of falls away, you know.
and I'll
Okay.
show him the the device. Is it blinking? Is
You
it
see, it's
counting
it's
down?
about the size of like a cell phone, and it's blinking. It's not counting down, but it's blinking.
All right, I'll wave it. I'll hold it up
Mm-hmm.
and show Tempest.
Okay.
I'll say, check the others. They probably have these on them as well.
All right, so if Arbiter would, relays the information about, all the other targets, I would move around to check them. I would ask him too, if he's got, do you have some kind of facial recognition software? Can you confirm that these are employees and not suicide bombers? That they do in fact work here.
So hold on, hang on, wait a second. When Wonder Man slashed the guy's suit jacket, people freaked out, and when they were filing down the stairs, people started pushing and going. Okay, so chaos has begun to ensue. Some people are kind of just like standing around like, what's going on? What's going on? Other people are like, out of my way. I can't take this crap anymore. I'm out of here. Okay? So go ahead, Heath.
If I may, ask them that. They're starting to like rush down the steps. Is it like one of those like spiral like staircases?
Yep.
So I can see him going down.
Yep.
I would like to once more use my elemental powers and maybe have like the wall or something.
The stairs?
No, I'm not trying to kill him. Like before, like whoever's in the lead, like have the walls come in and just kind of like slam shut, barring them from going down further because I don't want them running out with bombs.
So what does it look like when when Tempest uses his powers?
I mean, he'll manifest them in various ways, but like he'll look down and see what's happening. They're running down the stairs.
Does he have to like put his arms out, or does he?
Yeah, he'll like extend his hands and then use them to kind of mimic the movement and like slam his fists together, and you'll see the wall come in and mimic that, like two large fists.
Okay. All right. So you roll your 2d6 plus your maneuver.
And I got a maneuver of, I think, 1, so it's 5 total.
Okay. Let's see here. Okay, so that's a difficult task for you because creating a wall or other barrier from material. So that's fine. So you go ahead and you do that. And Wonder Man, I don't think he's here, but even Arbiter, you can see as well, since you've been scanning the room, you see that there is a lot of blood that is dripping down Tempest's shoulder, I think, or arm, where he was cut.
Yeah, it's like slashed up on my forearm.
His forearm, yeah, and you see it's a serious cut, no joke. But you do it. The walls kind of, you're able to kind of like force the material to just bend to your will, and man, it just closes off the stairwell. But the thing is that you have to concentrate to keep that there. Okay. So keep that in mind.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So you guys see him there. You guys see him there concentrating, doing that, and you can see the blood gush.
Yeah, he got like his fucking fist pressed together and just dripping down his arm.
After I get done with the room scan, I'm going to go to the doorway that everybody's going down and all panic and everything.
Mm-hmm.
While I'm walking by, I have a little spray thing pop out of my armor on the arm and get some first aid spray that will coagulate the blood and stop the bleeding.
There you go. Done. Okay. All right. So go ahead and roll your 2d6 plus your. You have a bond with a team member of 1, so it'd be 2d6 plus 1. Daryl.
Okay. That will be an 8 total.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So you spray the wound on his arm, and you see it. You almost can like hear it kind of like sizzle, as it disinfects the wound and makes a seal to keep the it cleans the wound and seals the wound up. Okay. So Heath, you no longer have that moderate condition. Okay.
That's refreshing.
Okay.
That's refreshing.
Okay. All right. So what was Wonder Man doing?
Once I saw Tempest start to use his elemental powers, I guess the last thing I did was take the bomb from the guy, right?
Yeah.
And I'm kind of holding it.
Yep.
Has Arbiter? Did you come back into the scene?
Yeah, he's standing by the stairway next to Tempest.
And he just zipped his arm up. Okay, I'll bring the bomb over to Arbiter because I'm sure he will know what to do or how to backtrace it towards whatever transmitters it's connected to or whatever.
Okay.
I'll say, this is what I found.
Okay.
All right. I grab it from Wonder Man and I'll look at it and I'm going to attempt some kind of scan to like the frequency that it's emitting. I want to actually try to say, okay, anything that's transmitting on this frequency, show, either blips or signal pulses or whatever, trying to find out the other signals that are emitting. Same as this.
Okay. All right. Okay. So you know what? I'll say that since you previously scanned, and actually locked onto the other signals, that you really don't have any difficulty, beyond normal doing that. So on your visor of your helmet, you start seeing the pings, and you see that various people, like maybe about 5 other individuals in the stairwell that are trapped, that are kind of looking up at you guys, wondering what you guys are going to do with them. You see that they are, you can just see that they also have these micro bombs on them, basically, is what we're calling.
Okay. I start pointing out those individuals.
Okay.
To Wonder Man, because I know Tempest is
concentrating.
Standing there concentrating.
Yep. Okay. All right.
All right. I'll head over towards the people that Arbiter points out, and I'll locate the devices that they have on their persons and try to.
You gonna cut them loose?
Try to take it. Yeah. Try to take them out.
Okay. All right. Arbiter, Daryl, from behind you, you all of a sudden feel you basically get pushed from behind, okay, and basically get pushed into Tempest, okay, and you see, actually, let me back up. You hear a crunch, of like metal and stuff, and all of these ceiling tiles basically go flying everywhere is what it is, okay? And amongst all of that, you feel yourself get pushed, into Tempest. Tempest kind of goes off to the side a little bit, but he's still able to regain, to maintain his control, over the stairwell. And you see that with the momentum, you actually kind of, it looked like that person was trying to push you over the side and down the stairwell, but you're able to grab onto the handrail, okay? And as you turn to look, you see that dude that I showed you guys before, who basically jumped out the ceiling. And you see that he has his weapons at bear. And you hear the click of the safety coming off his weapon.
Wait, this is the guy or the ape?
The guy.
Okay. With
That
all
guy.
the
That guy.
with all the swords and guns and
Yep.
yeah. Okay.
That guy.
Yeah.
Okay. So what you guys want to do?
So we still haven't got the bombs off everybody, though, have we?
That is what Wonder Man is in the process of doing right now.
Okay. He's doing that. How are they taking to that? Just out of curiosity. Like,
They're freaking out, man.
So I'm gonna have to stand and keep that wall up so they don't
Right,
take
right.
off.
Yeah, if that wall comes down, they're out of here.
Well, all right. How about I got that thing where I can keep an effect going without concentrating on it. Create a permanent effect that lasts after you stop concentrating.
That will be pushing your power again. You could try it, but that's pushing your power again. So
That's what I've been doing. That's my thing. Might as well keep riding that train.
is that what you're gonna try to do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait,
All right.
hold on.
Yeah.
If you make a permanent wall, aren't we trapped?
Yeah.
I couldn't get rid of it.
Okay.
I mean, I would assume that if I could make it stay there, I could split it back open.
Yeah, I just don't want you to, wall us in and then,
Nah,
the bombs start.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say he can't, undo what he did under normal circumstances. That would be, yeah. Okay, so that's what you want to do, bro?
Yeah, I mean, if this dude's
Okay.
trying to attack us,
Oh yeah,
I need
he's
to,
coming in. He ain't
I need
selling
to-
Girl Scout cookies. He's
I need to turn around and assist Arbiter, since I assume he's not entirely combat made.
Okay.
Right.
Support. So
Yeah. The whole
All right.
no.
So we're gonna say that. Let's say that is. It's a difficult task, right? No,
Right.
you want to do permanent, so it's borderline.
borderline.
Okay. Hold on, let's see something.
I don't know what that.
That just means that it's something that, once again, you're doing something above and beyond what you would normally, try to do. So,
Well,
okay.
if I'm in-
So there is no, I don't know if, you know what, I'm not sure about the approach. So let's just say that you're trying to do this. Let's say that it will be what? You're trying to make the wall permanent. So
Yeah, just
let's
keep
say
it
that,
there.
huh?
And it's like get it to hold its shape. Yeah.
Yeah, let's say that's a maneuver. Okay.
All right. Well, with that, I would have gotten an 8 with my
An 8?
maneuver.
Okay. All right. Okay. So once again, okay, you got a ugly choice to make, all right? So we'll say that with the stress of doing it, oh wow, okay. Woo, man. Okay, hold on. Let me see. I got to think about this.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I don't like how you're talking over there.
Well, it's a serious thing you did. Okay, all right, I know what I'm gonna do. Okay, I know what I'm gonna do. Okay, and okay, all right. So you guys see, Tempest, basically just like you see the veins popping in his forehead and in his neck, as he just like kind of wills this concrete like blob of a wall, this concrete to stay where he forced it to go, and the guy that popped up behind you guys, you see that he steps to the side, kind of like, since Arbiter was kind of in the stairwell, holding onto the railing, like I said, he kind of steps up, and you see in a swift motion with a katana, he basically slides it into the side of Tempest's thigh,
Wow.
fat part of his upper thigh, and you guys hear Tempest like just yell out, but he regains or doesn't break his concentration, because he just willed this to be. And we're gonna say that
I want to know how he yells out. How does he yell out?
I don't know. He's got to tell us.
Son of a bitch!
So we'll just say we'll just call it a thigh. We'll call it a thigh wound, and that's a critical condition. And that's because you made a borderline push, is what you did. That's why,
Okay.
Okay. So that happens. You guys hear, like we said, Tempest yells out. Okay. So Tempest was actually going, in theory first, so to speak. So Heath, who do you want to go next? Any of the guys can go, or the bad guy, whoever you want to go next. It's up to you.
All right. Let me see here. I'm so worried about those bombs. I want those bombs handled. So I need Wonder Man to go and try and take care of that. That's what he's doing.
So leave you to your own devices with this guy and keep on getting bombs, or should I go up there and start putting foot to ass?
If he blows those bombs, us the civilians, we're all done. Don't worry about me. Just take care of that.
We don't have time for conversations. Come on, we're in the middle of an episode. What you gonna do?
Going to disregard, unfortunately, my buddy's advice, because I'm thinking that if we can take this guy down, he can't. If he has no arms, he can't press the button, right?
But we don't know that he has the button.
That's true. All right, I'll continue on with the bombs against my better judgment.
Okay.
I hesitate, and I guess Tempest says, "Get the bombs" or something like that, and I'm like, you got a sword in your leg.
Right, and you guys can hear over the communicator. You guys hear, and the guy, he kind of leans in behind Tempest, and he whispers in your ear, "Just let the last thing you know be that you crossed Deathstalker." All right, who goes next, Jim?
Daryl could go, Arbiter, if he hasn't gone.
Nope, he hasn't.
Nope, I'm still here.
Okay, your move, man.
All right. Hey, don't punch this dude in the face, man.
Wait. I'm sorry. Before we go, how much God, what am I trying to say? How much progress have I gotten in getting the bomb? Okay, one more. Okay, gotcha. All right, sorry, Daryl.
Yeah, I'm gonna punch the dude in the face, stab my boy in the leg with the banana. I mean, can't get no more technical about it, man.
Okay. Okay. All right. So how are you gonna do it? You just gonna straight up just punch him, or what are you gonna do?
Yeah, just straight up
Okay.
punch him.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Okay.
That's a regression for you.
Right.
I thought you were the thinking man. Yeah, at least shoot him with a device or something.
Well, it's like close.
It's the shock of seeing that.
Yeah, it's like,
like I'm just gonna break down and clock him.
Okay. All right, Daryl. So roll your 2d6 plus your smash, because you're doing a takedown move, is what you're doing.
Yeah, that will be a 8 total.
Okay. All right. So with that 8 total, here's the thing. You have some choices you can do. What you can do is you can let's just say you have let's just call it 2 points, okay, to make it simple. All right, or 2 actions. All right. What you can do is you can damage the dude. Okay. If you spend basically you can spend 1 point for a minor condition or 2 points for a moderate condition. Okay. So minor is light stuff, bruise, black eye, stunned, something like that. Moderate is a more serious wound, or whatever, or condition, let's call it.
What would like breaking this sucker's neck be?
That would be a critical. That would be 3. That would be 3 points. But because Daryl didn't roll that high, he just got 2. Okay. So that's the first thing you can do, Daryl. then you also can take away an advantage of his, which is basically any kind of item he has. For 2, you can grab something and take it away or destroy it, throw it down, whatever you want to. Okay.
You know
And
what? I do that.
well, hold on. Let me tell you what y'all. Since this is the first time we playing, let me tell you. You could, and then you know what? And just for narration's sake, the next time, because I forgot to do it, I might just say, okay, when you punch him, is that, well, you basically said, yeah, I'm just gonna punch him. But when you do a takedown move, you also can, like, you could say, I want to punch him and knock him back towards the windows. You could do that. And the only other thing is that, and here's the kind of goofy part of this game, it's just something kind of just different. If you want to engage somebody, take them down like you're doing, you also have to spend a point in order to do something called take no harm, which means that during the exchange that you're having, you have to spend 1 point if you don't want anything to happen to you during the exchange. So in other words, if you're just going balls out and just attacking, that means that you're being so reckless and so crazy about it that bad things can happen when you're doing it. That make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So you got 2 points to spend. So what you want to do? What you want to do?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go balls out.
All the way out. Okay. All right. Okay. Which makes sense by what you were saying. Okay. So how does it look when you do it? What do you do?
Well, after the sword goes through the,
it's still in his thigh. He hasn't pulled it out yet.
Right.
Okay.
The sword goes through his thigh. Tempest screams out, and I just like Wonder Man said, I regressed.
Yeah.
I'm just not used to seeing that type of fighting and stuff. So I just regressed, and I just straight up slug right to the jaw.
Okay. All right. Okay. So what can you think of any kind of condition that's kind of nasty that this slug to the jaw would do to him?
Slug to the jaw would probably
it'll be a moderate, right?
Yeah, it's moderate. Yeah,
If
it's
he's
moderate.
Yeah, maybe messed up his equilibrium because I got steel metal gauntlets on.
Okay, so you kind of stunned him up basically. Long story short, he's kind of like he's kind of loopy.
Yeah.
Okay, you can say he's stunned. Yeah, that's fine. I can say okay, that's fine. I could give you that until he has a chance to clear his head. I'll give you that. Just for narrative. Okay. Cool. So we could say slight concussion. That sounds better because that makes more sense than just being stunned. So we would say we gave him a concussion. Okay. Right. So you guys see Arbiter just like wham, does the jump up in the air, comes down with it, pow, and you hear the dude grunt like oh. Excuse me. And he, with the force of the blow, with a snick, the blade slides nice and clean out of Tempest his thigh. Okay, and
that's surprising. I thought you'd have it twist and just cut my fucking leg off.
Nah, because of how Daryl did it. No, it could have happened that way. But well, let's see here. Okay, so he didn't, and Daryl decided not to cover his ass basically, and take no harm as part of the takedown. So let's see. Let's see what could happen. We could say,
I'm just kidding.
No, we could say that. What could we say? Okay, I know what happens. Okay, so when Arbiter smashes him back, he actually lands. I know what it is. Got it. No, I got it. It took me a second because it doesn't have to be damage. It could be something happens. That's the thing. So Arbiter sees the detonator that the dude had in his hand. You see that it falls out of his hand and it slides going towards the open window. Okay?
Oh, shit.
That's what you see. Actually, no, I got something even better. Is that better or worse? No, that's fine. I'll take that. Okay, so that's what happens. Okay? So the detonator, and you see that I'll take it one step further since it's something really bad. It seems to teeter precariously right on the edge of the windowsill. How about that?
Oh man.
Okay. All
Well,
right.
that's not exactly a bad thing. If the detonator's gone, it still can't be detonated.
But see, possibly. Wait, we'll see what happens. We're not done yet. So I see what you're
All
saying,
right.
but let's see what happens. Okay. All right. So I think Daryl went last, right? So it's my turn. Okay. So you guys see that Deathstalker, he shakes his head and gets up, and you can see that he's kind of wobbling on his feet, okay? And he looks and he like looks down to his belt and sees that the detonator is gone. Then he looks over to the window, and you guys see that he runs towards the window and grabs at the detonator, but he keeps sliding and goes out the window. How's that for bad? Okay.
It's bad for him.
Okay. So Heath can go next.
Is the detonator still there?
Still there where?
Teetering.
No, he grabbed it and went out the window with it.
Fuck. You got all those bombs off?
Not yet. Still got a couple people to go.
Oh man.
Yeah, see? Okay.
Can I? So I'm gonna do what I do and reach above and beyond. I guess what I should be doing.
What are you trying to do?
I want to take, if I can. There's sprinklers going off all over. It's like there's tons of water in here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I want to take the bombs and make like a push on like one spot with the water, like make like a spear of water around it and try and like condense it as much as possible. So when I believe they're inevitably going to go off, they're like keep it contained in this sphere of water.
Oh, okay, okay. I thought you were saying spear. Okay, yeah, I got you. Okay, I understand. Okay. Once again, okay, Tempest is going above and beyond his power profile here. So
I'm like a C-lister, I guess.
No, you're just doing a lot of stuff. You didn't come up with. Well, yeah, you didn't come up with this character in detail, so we're just going as the story goes. It's not a problem.
No, it's fine.
Basically, you're trying to create a complex item, out of elements. So
it's a fucking ball. That's how
you aren't able to make items at all. You aren't supposed to do that. So it is complex to you.
Okay.
It's a bubble.
Now,
that's hard.
Let's get back to talking about using these bonds, right?
Yeah.
Like I feel like this absolutely needs to happen.
What do you want to burn? What do you want to burn?
I mean, I don't. Let me see here.
You burnt the one with Hero Core already.
Fuck those guys.
That's why Director Sanchez was in your ass, because you burnt that.
I know. I got one says 3. I don't know what it.
I didn't fill them all out. That could be since you didn't say he had parents or a girlfriend or it could be anything. I don't know. Don't worry about it.
That's Aunt May. You can't burn Aunt May.
Right.
You burn it.
Don't worry about it. You still have bonds left, so don't fret it. You'll say you want to burn one. So okay.
I want to get rid of one of those and and tell, as I'm trying to, do this, inform Wonder Man, is doing great stuff here. Like, just get those bombs and just throw them into the frickin' sphere. And if they don't go off, hopefully they do. I mean, at the very least, maybe I can just compress it, crush the damn thing.
Okay, so go ahead and roll your 2d6 plus your maneuver.
All right, don't fail me now.
Well, you can't fail because you burn a bomb, but just tell me what you got.
Well, got a 4.
Oh wow. Okay, so a 4.
Uh-oh.
Dude. I don't know if you can even. That might be a fail.
Now, if he burns the bond, he gets at least a 7 to 9.
7. Okay. I'm looking on the side. Burn the bond. Emergency test on a roll. 6. Oh, I guess that's a less than 6. I can't see it. Okay, 7 and 9. Okay. All right. Okay. Here we go again. And this was possible. Wow.
Remember I said I was going to make up, penance? Doing it.
Man. Okay. So you see that Tempest. How are you gathering all these bombs? Are you just like scooping them up in the bubble or what?
Yeah, just kind of like, swirling my arms and using
Okay.
the water to like usher them across and coalesce into this bubble.
Now you know that Wonder Man hadn't gotten all of them quite yet,
Yeah,
right?
I'm still. He seems to throw them over. I'm still
Oh, he
throwing
did?
them over. As
Okay, all
I
right.
get them, I'm
Okay.
tossing them over. And
Okay, that's fine. Okay. All right, so you swirl them all up and they're inside this
stop
bubble.
playing, man. Stop
And
playing. Killer
and
Jam.
right. And uh you're able to focus and concentrate and control the water from the fire extinguishers, and you guys see this, bubble around the size of I don't know, like about maybe 5 foot, and you guys can see the actually doesn't have to be that big, it's the size of a beach ball, and you guys can see all the micro bombs kind of like moving around inside of them, still flashing and everything. Um, and you guys basically Heath Tempest feels yet like another like uh, uh, like jolt of pain from his thigh, and just like in like the anime cartoons and stuff, you guys see like a vein or something must have ruptured because you guys see a big like gout of blood just go squirting out. and he stumbles, but he's still, he's able
We need the
to
arbiter spray, the first
right.
aid spray.
He's able to keep it in there. So we're gonna say we're gonna call that we're gonna call it a burst artery.
Burst artery.
Or no, what would it be called? Ruptured artery. Okay.
Just call it fucked up, man.
That's not better.
It's not. It's another. That's two out of four.
Better adjective. That's still a jacked up adjective.
That's 2 out of 4 critical conditions that Tempest has, man.
Know what happens when I have 4? Do I die?
Well, it's not. You can, but it's in the narrative. You know how always Spider-Man always comes back, Superman always comes back. Yeah. So
Spider-Man was bleeding this damn thing.
So who goes next then?
I'm gonna stick, with my guns. I need them bombs in there.
So ultimately what are you trying to do with these things? Is what I need to know.
So if he grabbed, my thought process is if he grabbed the trigger and he fell out the window, I don't see why he's not just going to start hitting that button and blow it up.
Yeah, me neither.
So I want the bombs in the sphere of water and to like try to the pressure and contain it so when it blows, it does like minimal to no damage.
Gotcha. Okay, perfect. Okay, all right. Okay, so who goes next then?
Wonder Man. We need all the bombs.
All right.
Okay.
I think this is actually the last action. I should be able to get the rest of them now. So I'll toss them into Tempest's freezing sphere of.
It's not freezing. It's just a
watery sphere.
Yep.
And say that's all of them.
And you hear and can feel the stairway. You hear a big boom, and you feel it shake. And you see cracks appear in the wall that Tempest put up.
Like someone's on the other side, trying to get through.
Yes. And I know
or something.
And I know you know who it is too.
Right. All right. As I throw the rest of the micro bombs, I'll strike a defensive position with my shield up and my sword at the ready, so that when Grodling jumps through.
Okay. All right. Okay. So who goes next?
Arbiter.
Bad guys are Arbiter. Okay,
No,
Arbiter.
No.
Okay. Okay. All right, Daryl. You're up.
Oh man, this is taking a very bad turn for the worst. I hear the boom.
Yeah. Yep.
And I run back to the top of the stairwell, look down. What am I seeing now?
You can see, since you're looking from the top down, you actually see that big dude down there, and you see that he is trying to break through the barrier. That's what he's doing. And you can see that he kind of looks up and sees you, and that just sends him in even a more of a rage, and he smacks the wall again with a meaty fist. Boom! And you can kind of just feel you feel the stairway kind of like jerk when he does that. It's like, man, if this dude keeps doing it this way, he's gonna collapse the whole, this whole stairway.
Great.
Wait, we can fly. I don't know about him.
Fucking fabulous. All right, now looking at the bottom of the stairwell.
Oh, and everybody is back in the all the civilians are back up in here with you guys now. By the way, they weren't gonna stay down there with all that going on. Please, you see their file? They're running back up.
Oh crap. Is there enough room for me and Wonder Man to fight down there? You know, so that you got.
Yeah, there will be once the building starts to get destroyed.
It will be cramped quarters, but yes, you can. You know, we didn't say whether or not your armor had your suit had like a hover mode, so we'll assume that we don't know yet, but it's cramped quarters. Assuming you'll be standing on the stairs, it's cramped quarters.
Crap. I'm gonna go down there.
You gonna go down there? Okay,
yeah.
All right, okay.
I'm gonna like vault over the rail, and then as I get closer to the ground level, I turn on.
Now he's not all the way at the bottom, but we'll just say he's maybe a floor down, something like that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I get down there. We finna mix it up.
Okay. All right. So then on my action, the camera kind of like after Arbiter heroically dashes into the stairwell. You can see his jet boots aflame. The camera turns to the open window. And you guys see on the edge of the window ledge, you see two fingers, and then those two fingers amazingly pull up, and you see the guy get his elbow up there, and he raises the detonator and clicks the button, and we're gonna end it there.
What?
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Oh.
We're gonna end it there.
So we don't get to kick his ass.
Nah, not tonight. Not tonight. We're gonna end it. So, because I wanted to get you guys' opinion, what you guys thought. I wanted to ask you guys about it.
I think we need to keep playing the damn game.
That's it, man. That's it.
Right.
No, that's it.
We have a need to beat these motherfuckers' asses.
Nah, I know when to end the cliffhanger where cliffhanger should be ended.
Because I saw a German suplex in that.
The Frankensteiner.
Right, because he had WWE written all over his ass. I was gonna fuck his ass up.
Hey, I'm seeing the brains of the outfit. What's going on?
Right.